Halfway between Perth and Kalgoorlie is the central wheatbelt town of Merredin. If you've never stopped here to explore before, you should. It's home to one of the top cultural experiences in Australia. And I'm not talking about these, or the nationally acclaimed Railway Museum, or even the heritage-listed Cummins Theatre with its bricks reputed to contain gold. No. You won't find this culture in bricks and mortar. It's from a time when the stories of this land were recorded in a very different way. And there's just the bloke to tell me.
Kaya Wanju, how you going, Chrissy?
Mick is a Merredin boy, and he's also a nudgy man with an encyclopedic knowledge of the country he was born in. His tour starts here in the bush, just outside of Merredin. The Aboriginal Reserve was the place where he spent much of his childhood.
This place here is a special place for me. This was a old camping ground for all the old fellas, long before the early white settlers came out this way. We stand in a big circle and it's all marked by the marked trees. We call those trees scarred trees.
Mick is keen to share some of the old traditions, particularly the ones he credits for the longevity of his old people.
This is a plaque in remembrance of all my old fellas. No, that's two old ladies that are special here, great-grandmother and the grandmother. Both lived to be over 100 years old. And I put that simply down to what the old fellas ate. They ate off the land. What we see here today, pretty much what's crawled, they ate.
Luckily for me, the overcast conditions mean not much is crawling today. What have you given me this bit of bread for?
Here you go, right here, the quandong tree. This is where we make our jam from. Lucky enough, I made some for myself, but I'm willing to share with you. So I hope you like it, because the old fellas swear by it.
It's not just Indigenous stories Mick shares.
This is the foundations of the old Army Hospital, built in the early 1940s. Reason why it was built here is because the Japanese, when they were flying their planes out this way, they only had fuel for one way. So if they ever reached here, they wouldn't have the fuel to get back home. And there's only one way then for them to go, and it was down.
The tour is an interesting mix of white and blackfella history and the intersection of the two.
Merredin wasn't originally called Merredin, it was called Merredin. It was named after that old fellas making their spears from, the merret tree.
Oh.
And merret in Noongar means the private part of the male.
Oh.
So, yeah, but the historians who wrote the history didn't want to write about that because they thought it was too vulgar for them, or too rude.
Changed it a little bit.
They changed it a little tiny bit from to Merredin.
Oh, don't say tiny. Oh yes, Mick will have you in stitches all the way up the hill, which today serves as a lookout, a role it's held for thousands of years.
The local Noongars, we've known it as Merredin Rock, and the main top part of the rock is where you get out and you survey the land, look out where you're going to be heading next. And it was, to us, the shopping mall.
From the top of the rock, you can see the town's original dam.
This was a natural water hole, and the whole Noongar fellas call it Nama holes. It was our drinking supply, and eventually white folks, they made it into a dam like it is now to feed the steam trains, all on the way to the goldfields. People like coming up here because it's free.
Mick's tours take around 2 hours. He's happy to share the stories anytime.